So before we begin, I tell you, I am Sudarshan Chatterjee. I am an English medium school teacher. So I teach in an international school in with Cambridge curriculum. And at the same time, I have experience working with like the national curriculum that you are following. And my bachelor was from Jahangirnagar University. And I think that would be enough introduction for today. And if you have any question, raise your hand. Adib from Mohammadpur Preparatory School and College. Thank you, Adib, for writing. So everyone can follow how Adib wrote. Adib wrote his name and then he wrote his institution. So I request you to do the same, like everyone else, to do the same so that I know who is from where. So I see Rashidul Islam joined. So there is like 6 people in the class so far. So I can see Junaira Binte, I can see Iftikhar Sharia, I can see Marjuk Adib. Adib already wrote me. Rashidul Islam didn't write me. Tahira Kabir didn't write me. So I expect you to write in the chat. Can everyone understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Adib, you understood what I said. But what about Iftikhar Sharia, Rashidul Islam? Yeah, Rashid. Is that your name?
No, sir, I'm a girl.
Oh, okay, sorry. So I'm guessing that you are using your father's ID. So I
Yes.
request you to write. So I request you to write your name and then your institution so that I know whom am I teaching and who is from where. Okay. So this is kind of an introductory session where I will be having all of your names and I will be having all of your institution. So I write it like that. So can everyone see that what I have written? Can everybody see that what I have written?
Yes, sir.
So Adib, can you tell me like, so as I introduce myself, can you read it and tell to everyone else? Okay, so, okay, I got you. Raina, you're from VNC. So which campus you are from, Raina? From the main campus in Bailey Road or the Bushundora campus? Oh, the
The
main
main
campus.
campus.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're from main campus, that is in Bailey Road. Okay, Ahnaf, is it your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Ahnaf, what you have to do, you have to write your name and the institution name like the others did in the chat. Can you see the chat option? And I don't know
Yes,
why.
sir.
Okay, so write down your name and the institution name, and I will directly go to the class of today. So I think I already introduced myself, and now we will directly go to the class. So I'm going to sharing the screen, and you will be able to see. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you, and I think you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So we are going to start with science. Okay. So today we will be discussing chapter 3, as you have already known. So today's topic is diffusion, osmosis, and transpiration, and this is from chapter 3. So what is diffusion? After this class, we'll be knowing how diffusion works, how osmosis works, and how loss of water through transpiration works. And we will also explain how absorption works. So it's like everyone has plants in your home, right? So plants absorb water from the soil. So what is diffusion? The roots of plants absorb water and minerals from the soil. These substances are transported up the stem to the leaves. So from the stem, as you can see in this picture, this is the roots, right? And it's underneath the soil. And the water is transported. First, it is absorbed into the roots. You can see, right? Everyone can see what I am saying, right? And everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So the water is transported from the roots. This is the stem of the plant. You see in the middle, that is the stem. So there is some leaves, and these leaves are the final destination for that water. And from this water, what happens is photosynthesis, right? So from the sunlight, and there is chlorophyll inside the leaves. পাতার মধ্যে chlorophyll থাকে, and from the sun we get the sunlight, and then it produced through the process of glycolysis, it produces sugar or sucrose and other material for the plants to live. So how does this absorption works? The first thing is diffusion. We know that matters or substances are made up of small molecules. I guess you have already heard of molecules in the year 7 science. So these molecules are always in motion, so they are moving. Okay, so these substances or the molecules are moving in motion. In case of liquid and gas, the motion of these molecules are very fast. Okay, so when it's a gaseous molecule, it's very fast, it absorbs everywhere. Like when there is smoke, the smoke goes everywhere, right? Because the molecules move faster. And this gas and liquid show a tendency to diffuse towards the region with lower concentration from the higher ones. So can anyone tell me that what is higher concentration and what is lower concentration? Can anyone raise your hand or just open your microphone and tell me what is higher and lower concentration means? Everyone understood what I said, right? So nobody knows what is high. Yeah, Anaf. So Migdat Hassan Anaf, you wanted to say something? Or Adib, you want to tell me?
Sir, higher concentrations mean that there is the amount of substance at a place is in higher amount, and lower concentration means the amount is in lower.
Excellent, Adib. That was exactly what the answer is. You did really well. Thank you so much. So this is kind of how I take the class. I interact with the students so that I know who knows what, okay? And what is your proficiency of English, right? Because I teach in an English medium school and you are from an English version school. So I also should know what are your proficiencies. Okay, so this movement of molecules continues as long as the concentration of the two regions becomes equal. So there is higher concentration and there is lower concentration. The molecules will move to the lower concentration from the higher concentration. So this is called diffusion. Diffusion is when substances from higher concentration moves to the lower concentration. So diffusion, when does diffusion stop? Diffusion stops at once when the concentration of molecules become equal in two regions. This type of movement of molecule is called diffusion. So why diffusion works? So we can do some tests to see how diffusion works. So due to kinetic energy of the molecule, a potential pressure is exerted. So what is a potential pressure? The potential pressure occurs when the substances concentration are different, right? So there is a pressure. So how can you say that? Like, so have you seen a water, like a water, big water bottle or bucket, and then there is a tap underneath, right? So when you open the tap, all the water goes down until the water goes to the level of the tap. Understanding me? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So that's the potential. So this is higher potential, this is lower potential. The water goes down. So that the same thing happens in diffusion. Kinetic energy of the molecule, a potential pressure is exerted, and consequently the movement of molecules of solutions or gases from one region of higher concentration to that of a lower one occurs. This type of pressure is called diffusion pressure. So if in exam it comes that you have to define what is diffusion pressure, you know what you have to do. You have to write, due to kinetic energy of molecules, a potential pressure is exerted, and consequently the movement of molecules of solutions or gases from one region of higher concentrations to that of a lower concentration occurs. This type of pressure is called diffusion pressure. Plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen as byproducts. So for plant, carbon dioxide is food. For us, we can't breathe carbon dioxide. We only can breathe oxygen. And for plants, they absorb carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. So diffusion makes this essential task possible. So without diffusion, আমরা কিন্তু oxygen পেতাম না. Like plants wouldn't be producing any oxygen if there was no diffusion process. Okay, clear? Everyone, I want you to come to the mic and say if everyone is
Yes, sir.
understanding.
Clear.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Thank you so much. Are you enjoying the class? Like, are you understanding what is going on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your feedback. Okay, so what is osmosis? To understand the process of osmosis, we need to know the characteristic of the membrane separating two differently concentrated solution. দেখো এটা কিন্তু খুব ডিফিকাল্ট মনে হচ্ছে পড়তে, তাই না? কিন্তু ইটস ভেরি সিম্পল। দেখো there would be a membrane separating two differently concentrated solution. এটা কিভাবে হবে? That is the interesting thing. আমরা চা ছাকি না? সবাই তো চা বানিয়েছো, তাই না? Like everyone had made tea or coffee, right? So what we do during making the tea, we pour the tea in the filter or a chakni. That is kind of a membrane, তাই না? So what happens? The water diffuses, waterটা কিন্তু চলে যায়, কাপে চলে যাচ্ছে, and the liquor are stick to the sieve বা ছাকনি বা মেমব্রেন। হ্যাঁ, সো এই জিনিসটাই হয়। ধরো একটা সেলের ওয়াল, হ্যাঁ, এটা কিন্তু একটা ছাকনির মতো কাজ করে। বাইরে থেকে মলিকিউলগুলো আসে, কিছু ঢুকতে পারে, ঢুকে এই পাশে সেলের ভিতরে ঢুকে, আর কিছু হচ্ছে আটকা পড়ে এই মেমব্রেনে, ঠিক আছে? সো দ্যাট ইজ কাইন্ড অফ অসমোসিস। হ্যাঁ, তো আমাদের কি হবে? একটা মেমব্রেন থাকবে এবং টু ডিফারেন্টলি কনসেন্ট্রেটেড সলিউশন থাকবে। বুঝতে পেরেছো? ক্লিয়ার? তোমরা ছবি দেখলে না আরো ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যাবে। হ্যাঁ, সো দেখি এখানে আছে কিনা। আচ্ছা, so everyone can see page number 27 একদম নিচে there is a semi permeable membrane, হ্যাঁ, and on the left side A there is a light solution and on the right side there is concentrated solution. এখন দেখো একটা হচ্ছে লাইট সলিউশন, সেখানে কি আছে? সেখানে মলিকিউল গুলো হচ্ছে অল্প অল্প আছে, হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু বেশি আছে কি সলভেন্ট। সলভেন্ট কি? ওয়াটার, তাই না? সো এই সলভেন্টটা করবে কি, যখন হচ্ছে একটা সেমি পারমিয়েবল মেমব্রেন থাকবে যেখান থেকে শুধু পানি যেতে পারবে কিন্তু কোনো মলিকিউল বা মানে সলিউট, যেগুলো তোমরা তো সলিউট, সলিউশন, সলভেন্ট এগুলো তো বোঝো। সলিউট হচ্ছে যে দানা দানা মলিকিউল গুলা, হ্যাঁ, আর সলভেন্ট হচ্ছে ওয়াটার বা লিকুইডটা। তো হচ্ছে কি হচ্ছে যে লাইট সলিউশনের ওয়াটার বা লিকুইডটা হাই কনসেন্ট্রেশনের যে সলিউশন, যেখানে হচ্ছে মলিকিউল গুলো বড় বড় বা হাই কনসেন্ট্রেশন আছে, সেখানে চলে যাচ্ছে। এই প্রসেসটাকেই বলে অসমোসিস। তাহলে শর্তটা কি? অসমোসিস হওয়ার জন্য দেয়ার শুড বি এ মেমব্রেন and there should be different concentration of solution. বোঝা গেছে? এটা হচ্ছে তোমাদের স্কুলে দেখবা যে ইফ প্র্যাকটিক্যাল করায় তখন হচ্ছে তোমাদের অসমোসিস প্র্যাকটিক্যালি দেখাবে। হ্যাঁ, সো ইফ আই আস্ক ইউ দ্য ডেফিনেশন, হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ টু সে, বলতে হবে যে membrane separating two differently concentrated solution is osmosis. Membrane may be of three types. There is three different types of membrane. One is impermeable membrane. ইম্পারমিয়েবল মানে কি? যেটা পারমিয়েট করতে পারে না। হোয়াট ইজ পারমিয়েশন? পারমিয়েশন হচ্ছে ঢুকে যাওয়া। তাহলে ইম্পারমিয়েবল মানে যেখানে ঢুকতে পারবে না। দ্য মেমব্রেন থ্রু হুইচ মলিকিউলস অফ বোথ সলিউট এন্ড সলভেন্ট ক্যানট পাস। একটা উদাহরণ কি হতে পারে? একটা উদাহরণ হতে
পলিথিন।
এক্স্যাক্টলি, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। তোমরা ক্লাসে খুব মনোযোগী, এটা আমার খুব ভালো লাগে। হ্যাঁ, পলিথিন, সেল ওয়াল মেড আপ অফ কিউটিন। ধরো কিউটিনের যে সেল ওয়াল, দেখবা কি জানো, গাছের শক্ত গুড়িতে যদি তুমি পানি দাও ভিতরে ঢুকবে না কিন্তু, বিকজ ইট ইজ মেড অফ কিউটিন। হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, হোয়াট ইজ পারমিয়েবল মেমব্রেন? যেটা ঢুকতে পারে। এক্সাম্পল কি হতে পারে? সেল ওয়াল। সেল ওয়ালের মধ্যে কিন্তু পারমিয়েট করতে পারে, হ্যাঁ, মলিকিউল গুলা, মানে মলিকিউল অফ বোথ। দেখো খেয়াল করো, মলিকিউল অফ বোথ সলিউট এবং সলভেন্ট মানে কি? তোমার দানাগুলোও যাইতে পারে, আবার পানিটাও যেতে পারে। What is semi-permeable membrane? The membrane through which only the solvent molecules can pass but not the solute molecule is called semi-permeable membrane. কিরকম এক্সাম্পল হতে পারে? সেল মেমব্রেন। Cell membrane is a very good example of semi-permeable membrane. And in science we mostly work with semi-permeable membrane. ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমাদের তিনটা জিনিস আমরা শিখলাম, একটা হচ্ছে impermeable membrane, একটা permeable membrane, আর একটা হচ্ছে semi-permeable membrane. An example of these three is polythene, cell wall, cell membrane. মনে থাকবে? Clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. So we are kind of done with our science class today. And what would be the homework? The homework would be you have to write the definition of osmosis and definition of membrane. দেখো আমি কিন্তু সুন্দর করে হাইলাইট করে দিয়েছি, হ্যাঁ? And you have to draw this picture. একদম নিচের এই যে পিকচারটা আছে না, figure 3.3. Everyone clear about the class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so I will be writing the homework, and today's class ends here. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for being such nice students. Okay?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Goodbye, sir.
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, ভালো থেকো,
আসসালামু আলাইকুম
হ্যাঁ?
স্যার।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, ভালো থেকো, গুড নাইট।